Over 3 million people in the UK have lost their jobs in the past 2 years. Let that sink in. That's not just a number, it's careers destroyed, families shaken, futures rewritten. So what's really going on? Is it just the economy, or is something much bigger happening right under our noses? In this video, we're diving into the real reasons why so many people across the UK are suddenly jobless. And no, it's not just about one company failing or a temporary crisis. This is a system-wide shift that's changing everything we thought we knew about work. Your job, yes, even yours could be next. We're not talking about far-off predictions. We're talking about automation replacing workers, high streets going dark, and entire industries vanishing overnight. Add in the cost of living crisis, post-Brexit trade chaos, and AI creeping into every corner of business. And what you get is a job market on the edge of collapse. But here's the thing, most people don't even see it coming. This video breaks it all down. 10 powerful reasons behind this job market crash. No fluff, no sugarcoating, just the cold, hard truth, served straight. If you're working, job hunting, or even just trying to understand what's really going on in the UK right now, you need to see this. Because the more you know, the better you can prepare. Watch till the end, and you'll not only understand what's happening, you'll start to see what's coming next. Number 1. Mass layoffs in the tech sector. Across the UK, mass layoffs have surged in the tech sector, impacting tens of thousands of workers. Once seen as a safe haven for ambitious professionals, the tech industry is now undergoing a dramatic contraction. Companies that expanded rapidly during the pandemic are now scaling back due to economic pressures, falling investor confidence, and a growing reliance on automation. Major firms such as BT, Meta, and Google's UK branches have all announced significant job cuts. These aren't limited to junior roles. Software developers, project managers, and even data scientists are being shown the door. The message is clear. No role is immune when efficiency and cost-cutting become the top priority. One of the driving forces behind this trend is the integration of artificial intelligence into daily operations. Tasks that once required human oversight are now being handled by algorithms. Customer service, fraud detection, and even content moderation are increasingly managed by AI systems that operate faster and cheaper than any human. These changes are happening faster than the workforce can adapt. While some displaced workers are trying to reskill, many face barriers including age, limited access to training, or regional economic challenges. For those over 40, the transition can be even tougher, with employers often seeking younger, more tech-native talent. What makes this wave of layoffs so alarming is the sheer scale and speed. Redundancies are being made not because companies are failing, but because they're optimizing. That means fewer people doing more work, often under tighter scrutiny. Behind every number is a life thrown into uncertainty. Mortgages, families, and careers disrupted overnight. The tech sector was once the symbol of modern opportunity. Today, it's a stark reminder that even the most innovative industries are not immune to economic volatility and technological displacement. Number 2. Collapse of high street retail. The once bustling high streets across the UK are now lined with empty shops, shuttered windows, and for sale signs. Over the past few years, a combination of changing consumer habits, rising operational costs, and online competition has led to the collapse of many brick-and-mortar retailers. Businesses that once thrived for decades have now vanished, taking thousands of jobs with them. Retail giants such as Wilko, Debenhams, and Topshop have closed their doors, unable to keep pace with the rapid shift to e-commerce. Shoppers now prefer the convenience of buying with a few clicks, often at lower prices and with faster delivery. This shift has devastated in-store roles, from floor assistants and cashiers to store managers and visual merchandisers. What makes this collapse even more damaging is its ripple effect on local economies. When a major store closes, it doesn't just impact employees, it affects surrounding businesses like cafes, hair salons, and newsagents that relied on foot traffic. The sense of community high streets once offered is being replaced with silence and economic stagnation. Another factor is rising rent and business rates. Many retailers, especially independent shops, simply can't afford to keep operating in high-cost areas. Combined with reduced footfall, it becomes a financial death sentence. Even seasonal sales and promotional events can no longer offset the losses. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated these changes. But it's not the sole cause. Consumer behavior has evolved permanently. People are more focused on value, speed, and digital convenience. This evolution has left behind a sector unprepared to compete in a fully digitized economy. For workers who once felt secure in retail, the future is uncertain. A sector that once symbolized entry-level opportunity and career growth is now in rapid decline, leaving communities grappling with the loss of identity and income. Number 3. Brexit-related trade disruptions. The aftermath of Brexit continues to ripple through the UK's job market, particularly in sectors that depend heavily on international trade. New import and export regulations, customs checks, and border delays have made it significantly harder and more expensive for UK businesses to operate across European markets. As a result, many companies have scaled back operations or relocated altogether, leading to widespread job losses. Small and mid-sized manufacturers are among the hardest hit. Industries like automotive parts, agriculture, and textiles have seen delays in supply chains, rising tariffs, and a loss of competitive edge. This disruption has made it difficult to fulfill orders on time, leading to cancelled contracts and job cuts. Workers in production, packaging, and logistics have borne the brunt of these changes. Larger corporations have not been spared either. Several multinational companies with headquarters or factories in the UK have opted to shift operations to EU countries, where trade flow remains smoother. These strategic moves, driven purely by economics, have resulted in the closure of UK-based facilities and the loss of thousands of skilled and semi-skilled jobs. Another layer of strain has come from the reduction in EU labour migration. Sectors that previously relied on seasonal workers or technical specialists from Europe are now facing staffing shortages. The result? Fewer staff, heavier workloads, and in some cases, complete shutdowns. Beyond industry, even transportation hubs have suffered. Ports and airports have had to adapt to complex documentation procedures, slowing down the entire supply chain. With increased overhead costs and fewer profits, many firms have had no choice but to downsize. Brexit was meant to bring economic freedom, but for many businesses, it brought bureaucracy, uncertainty, and reduced access to key markets, a combination that continues to threaten job security across multiple industries in the UK. Number 4. Rise of remote work and office downsizing. The rise of remote work has revolutionized the way businesses operate, but it's also eliminated thousands of traditional jobs in the UK. As companies transition to hybrid or fully remote models, the need for large office spaces, on-site staff, and support services has declined drastically. While remote work offers flexibility for some, it has spelled disaster for others. Entire roles once essential to office life, receptionists, maintenance staff, IT support, cleaning crews, and cafeteria workers have been cut. With fewer employees commuting daily, companies no longer need to maintain sprawling office buildings, leading to a wave of commercial real estate downsizing and related job losses. Major cities like London, Manchester, and Birmingham have seen a dramatic reduction in daily foot traffic. This has had a devastating effect on businesses that once thrived off the office crowd. Coffee shops, dry cleaners, gyms, and lunchtime eateries. When workers stay home, entire urban microeconomies suffer. Even corporate roles haven't been immune. Many businesses, after realizing productivity can be maintained remotely, began outsourcing positions to countries with lower labor costs. This trend has impacted administrative roles, customer service jobs, and back-office operations, shrinking the domestic job pool even further. What's more, companies embracing remote work are investing in automation tools and AI platforms to streamline tasks that once required human intervention. Tasks like data entry, calendar scheduling, and basic HR processes are now handled by digital systems, reducing the demand for entry-level office staff. While remote work may seem like progress, it has unintentionally created a new kind of economic divide. Those in adaptable industries thrive, while others, especially workers who supported the physical office ecosystem, are left behind song. The shift isn't temporary. It's a fundamental transformation of how, where, and by whom work is done in the modern UK economy. Number 5. Automation in warehousing and transport. Automation is transforming the UK's warehousing and transportation sectors at lightning speed, and not in a way that favours workers. Robots, algorithms, and machine learning systems are now handling tasks that once kept thousands of people employed. As efficiency becomes the priority, human labour is being systematically replaced. Major companies like Amazon, Ocado, and Tesco have heavily invested in robotic fulfillment centres. These facilities use automated picking systems, conveyor belts, and AI-driven inventory management to process orders faster than ever. While impressive, this evolution has led to the phasing out of roles such as warehouse packers, forklift operators, and sorting staff. Even delivery operations are shifting. With the rise of self-driving delivery trials, drone shipments, and automated dispatch systems, the traditional role of the van driver or courier is under threat. Some companies are already piloting autonomous delivery robots in urban areas, signalling a future where logistics is dominated by machines. The speed at which these changes are occurring is staggering. Roles that existed just 5 years ago are already becoming obsolete. For workers without access to retraining or digital literacy, the path forward is increasingly unclear. Beyond warehouses, port automation is also impacting jobs in coastal towns. Cranes and cargo handling are now run by remote control systems, reducing the need for on-site dock workers. Similarly, in rail and freight, scheduling and coordination tasks are increasingly being managed by AI algorithms rather than human planners. These innovations are framed as progress, but they come at a high cost for everyday workers. Efficiency, speed, and profit margins are winning out over employment stability. For those working in manual or semi-technical roles in logistics, the writing is on the wall. Adapt, retrain, or risk redundancy in an industry that no longer relies on human hand. Number 6. Cost of living. Crisis forcing business closures. The ongoing cost of living crisis in the UK isn't just hurting households, it's shuttering businesses. With skyrocketing energy bills, inflation, and declining consumer spending, many small and medium enterprises are being pushed to the brink. Every week, new shops, pubs, salons, and cafes are closing down, unable to keep up with rising costs. These closures translate directly into job losses, especially in hospitality, retail, and personal services. For small business owners, the situation is dire. Energy prices for commercial properties have more than doubled in some cases, turning profitable ventures into financial burdens. Add to that the cost of raw materials, transportation, and supplier contracts, and even breaking even has become a struggle. Many owners are choosing to close permanently rather than sink further into debt. Employees are bearing the brunt. Chefs, bartenders, barbers, shop assistants, and cleaning staff are being let go with little notice. These are often local jobs in tight-knit communities where alternative employment options are limited. The ripple effects are harsh and deeply personal. Consumer behaviour has also shifted. With budgets stretched thin, people are cutting back on non-essential spending. Fewer meals out, less shopping, and cancelled beauty appointments. For businesses that depend on foot traffic and frequent purchases, this shift is devastating. Larger chains are not immune. Some well-known restaurant brands and retail stores have entered administration, citing untenable energy and operational costs. Even those that remain open are downsizing staff or reducing opening hours to stay afloat. This crisis isn't caused by poor management or lack of demand. It's a result of an economic environment where the cost of staying open often outweighs the benefits. As businesses disappear, so do livelihoods, creating a cycle of unemployment, reduced local spending, and further closures in the heart of UK communities. Number 7. Decline in manufacturing output. The UK's manufacturing sector, once the pride of industrial innovation, is now facing a steady and painful decline. Over the past decade, factories have closed, production has slowed, and jobs have vanished. While global factors play a role, much of the damage stems from domestic challenges, rising costs, outdated infrastructure, and a failure to compete with low-cost international producers. Industries like automotive, steel, and textiles have been hit especially hard. Major manufacturers have moved operations abroad to benefit from cheaper labour, looser regulations, and better supply chain access. As a result, UK-based factories are being downsized or shut down completely. The impact is severe. Thousands of machine operators, technicians, and assembly line workers are losing stable, skilled employment. Rising energy prices have made it difficult for UK manufacturers to stay competitive. In energy-intensive sectors like metal production and chemical processing, operating costs have become unsustainable. Some companies have paused production or moved to temporary layoffs, hoping for relief that may never come. The Brexit effect has made things worse. New customs barriers and delays have slowed exports, making UK goods less attractive to European buyers. Firms that relied on just-in-time production models now struggle with supply chain disruptions, forcing them to cut costs, often by cutting staff. Technological change is also playing a role. While automation can improve productivity, it often leads to job displacement. Robotics and AI systems are now handling tasks once performed by skilled human workers. Without access to reskilling programs, many employees are left behind in a rapidly evolving industry. The decline in manufacturing isn't just about economics, it's about regional identity. In towns where factories were the backbone of community life, closures mean more than lost income. They signal the erosion of local pride, stability, and the hope of future generations entering trades once seen as reliable. Number 8. Healthcare system strain and public sector cuts. The UK's healthcare system and wider public sector are under intense pressure, leading to widespread job losses across non-clinical roles. While the NHS remains the backbone of the country's well-being, it's facing a staffing crisis not only from burnout, but also from budgetary constraints. Thousands of positions in administration, IT support, transport, and maintenance have been reduced or eliminated to cut costs. Government departments and local councils are also making deep cuts. Due to austerity measures and post-pandemic economic strain, many councils have been forced to restructure or declare financial emergencies. This has resulted in job losses in libraries, waste management, social services, and community outreach programs. Entire teams once dedicated to public well-being have vanished, leaving communities with fewer services and fewer employment options. The healthcare sector in particular has seen a paradox. Demand is rising, but staffing is falling. Hospitals are stretched thin. While doctors and nurses are desperately needed, the non-clinical workforce is shrinking. Roles such as ward assistants, receptionists, data entry clerks, and cleaners are being removed to redirect funds. This not only increases pressure on remaining staff, but also weakens the overall functioning of care services. Recruitment freezes are widespread. Many roles that once offered stable, long-term employment are no longer being refilled when staff retire or resign. Even graduate schemes and training positions within the public sector have been scaled back, making it harder for young professionals to enter these fields. The combined effect is a loss of trust and opportunity. Workers who once chose public service for its job security, sense of purpose and community impact now face uncertainty and job scarcity. The erosion of public sector employment doesn't just hurt individuals. It affects every citizen who depends on these vital services. Number 9. Shift in consumer priorities post-COVID. The aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic reshaped how people spend their money. And the consequences for certain job sectors in the UK have been devastating. Consumer priorities have changed. Spending has shifted from non-essential experiences and luxury services to practical essentials, savings, and digital convenience. As a result, thousands of workers in events, entertainment, and hospitality have lost their livelihoods. The once booming wedding industry, concert sector, and corporate events market have not fully recovered. Many planners, decorators, caterers, and AV technicians have seen bookings disappear or shrink in scale. Businesses that supported these industries, like venue rentals, florists, and sound engineers, have also suffered significant job cuts. The same pattern is seen in travel and tourism, with people prioritizing local outings over expensive holidays. Travel agents, tour guides, and aviation staff have faced redundancies. Larger companies have responded by reducing routes, outsourcing customer support, or automating bookings, all of which shrink the workforce. Consumer psychology has shifted toward value, safety, and predictability. This has caused a major decline in luxury spending. High-end retailers, spas, and private clubs are seeing fewer clients. That means fewer jobs for personal stylists, masseuses, boutique managers, and service staff in elite venues. Digital substitution is also playing a major role. Services like virtual events, online fitness classes, and digital entertainment have replaced traditional in-person experiences. While new industries have emerged, they require very different skill sets, leaving many former workers behind. The pandemic did not just pause consumer habits, it remolded them. Sectors that relied on crowds, discretionary income, or impulse spending are now struggling to stay relevant. This transformation has left a wave of displaced workers wondering how to transition into industries that reflect today's more cautious, digitally focused way of living. Number 10. Generational job skill gaps. One of the most silent but damaging forces behind rising unemployment in the UK is the growing generational job skill gap. As industries evolve rapidly due to technology, automation, and digitization, many workers are being left behind, not because they're unwilling to learn, but because they've had no clear pathway to reskill. Younger generations entering the workforce are being trained in AI, data analytics, cloud systems, and cybersecurity. Meanwhile, mid-career and older professionals are struggling to transition from jobs that are disappearing to roles that require entirely new technical competencies. The problem isn't just education, it's access, support, and timing. Sectors like banking, media, and manufacturing are now prioritizing tech fluency over traditional experience. This leaves behind countless individuals who've worked hard for decades, but now find themselves unqualified for most available openings. Even basic roles in admin or customer service now require comfort with CRM software, automation tools, and data platforms. Meanwhile, government-led upskilling programs are often underfunded, underpromoted, or outdated. Private boot camps and training courses can be expensive or inaccessible for those juggling families or multiple jobs. The result is a painful divide. Jobs exist, but the people who need them most often lack the skills to qualify. It's not laziness, it's a system failure. Without immediate investment in accessible reskilling, this gap will only widen, deepening both unemployment and economic inequality. This isn't just a tech problem, it's a human one. If the UK wants a future-ready workforce, it must ensure that workers of all ages have a real chance to adapt, compete, and thrive, not just survive in the changing job market. What we're seeing in the UK right now isn't just an employment dip, it's a historic transformation of the entire workforce. Entire industries are shifting, technology is accelerating, and traditional jobs that once felt secure are now hanging by a thread. From the collapse of high street retail to the silent rise of automation, every corner of the economy is being tested. Millions have already lost their jobs, and millions more could be next. And this isn't just about numbers, it's about the truck driver who's been replaced by a self-driving vehicle, the event planner watching bookings vanish, or the factory worker let go after 20 years of loyal service. But knowing these 10 reasons gives you clarity. It helps you see the patterns, ask smarter questions, and most importantly, take action before it's too late. This video isn't about fear, it's about awareness. It's about preparing for what's coming instead of being blindsided by it. Whether you're still working, recently laid off, or just worried about the future, you now have insight that many others don't. So ask yourself, how can you adapt? How can you stay ahead in a world that's changing faster than ever? We've broken it all down for you. The question now is, what will you do with this information? If this video made you think, drop a comment and tell us how your industry is changing. We read every single one. We put serious effort into every video. So if you found this valuable, please hit that subscribe button. It's just one click, and it means the world to us. Like, share, and stay informed. Your future might just depend on it.